Hello friends, so today we start with the terminology for the helical gear. Okay, now this is the cross section of the helical gear blank, and this is the center axis or the center line of the shaft showing along this side, and these are the paint line are nothing but the helix lines or the gear cut it along the helix. Okay, now anything we are seeing along this axis, that is called as a transverse, and anything along the axis along the teeth, that is called as a normal. Okay, now if you see it along this side, this is one point on the one tooth, and this is the another point, this is the same corresponding point on the next tooth, very next tooth. This is called as a transverse pitch because I am looking from along the axis. Now similarly, if I look it along the teeth, then the same gears will be look like here, like this. Okay, now just see over there, see A1 A2 is a transverse pitch. Similarly B1 B2 is a normal pitch because we are looking along the teeth. Okay, how to find out the relation? Now this is the helix angle psi, this is the shaft axis, and this is the angle psi, same angle psi over here. Okay, so if you consider triangle angle A1 B2 A2 is a helix angle psi, A1 B2 A2 is a helix angle psi. Similarly angle CA1 A2 is the helix angle. Similarly angle B1 A1 B2 is nothing but the helix angle as per the trigonometry. Okay, now distance A1 A2 is nothing but a transverse pitch, B1 B2 is nothing but the normal pitch. So how to find out the relation? Now consider the triangle A1CA2. We can write it down as PN, this is nothing but the normal pitch PN, upon PT is nothing but the cos of psi. Similarly, can I write down from this, I can write down PN is equal to PT into cos phi. Okay, now what is circular pitch? M into Z, correct? So PN I can write down Mn into Z, which is equal to PT. Can I write down MT into Z? So Z and Z will cancel it out. I can write down Mn is equal to MT cos psi. Similarly, I can write down PA. This is nothing but the axial pitch from this point to this point. This is nothing but the axial pitch. PA is equal to PT into tan of psi. This is all about the terminology. Now we go for the force analysis. Now, for the meshing helical gears, one gear should be right hand, another gear should be left hand. Then meshing will be possible. So here I have assumed it will be right-handed pinion, right-hand helix pinion rotating in counterclockwise direction as shown in figure. So for this reason, this should be the direction of tangential force and this should be the direction of radial force. Okay, so how to find out the direction of axial force? So for that reason, first of all select the driving, that is a pinion. Okay, then use right hand for the right hand helix gear, use left hand for the left hand helix gear. Now this is a right hand helix, hence I have to use the right hand, and your fingers should be in the direction of rotation of the shaft, rotation of the gear. Then I have to put it like this, then this should be the direction of axial component. Similarly this should be the direction of axial component as shown over here. Now if I complete the geometry, then this angle should be angle phi, angle psi, that is a helix angle, and this angle should be angle normal pressure angle, and Pn be the total normal force acting on the helical gear as shown in figure. So likewise we can find out the direction of the forces and the relation between the forces. So Pt is equal to 2 into mt upon d. Similar torque, from the torque we can find out the value of tangential force. PR is equal to P into sine of alpine from this geometry. So similarly PR is equal to PT into tan of alpine upon cos of psi. At the same time, axial force PA is equal to PT into tan of psi. You can find out these relations from this force from this force cube or from the PHG 8.56 ready-made forces are given. Now we go for the next theory as a virtual number of teeth. Now what do you mean by virtual gear? This is a helical gear with a helix angle psi as shown over here. Now this is the shaft, this is the teeth. So if I make the center point of this at this point over here, and this is the intersection shaft axis, and this is the center of the face width, and this is the point. Then I will take an angle as 90 degree. This is the angle psi, and just I will draw it. Now if I cut it and if I look at along this direction, then it will be look like an ellipse as shown over here. Okay, now let it be r is the maximum radius of that elliptical curve or elliptical section. Now if I consider this as a center point and if I draw a circle with a radius of capital R, then it will give the this circle. Then this is the imaginary pitch circle for equivalent helical gear. Okay, this is nothing but the equivalent pitch circle of spur gear for a given helical gear. Then the number of teeth on that equivalent pitch circle is called as virtual number of teeth, z suffix v. Okay, how to find out the value? So r is equal to a squared upon b from the theory of ellipse. Okay, so where a is equal to d upon 2 cos of psi and b is equal to d by 2 as per the theory of the ellipse. So if I put both these values in it, I can find it out. R is equal to d upon 2 cos squared psi. But if you multiply, if I take 2 over here, so it will be 2 times r. It means that d is equal to capital D is equal to small d upon cos squared psi, where d is the diameter of equivalent spur gear or equivalent spur gear. So I can write down. Now this is along the normal, so I can write down instead of d, I can write down mn into zv, m into z, diameter d is equal to m into z, so I can write down mn into zv, which is equal to here small d. Can I write down? For this small d I have to see along this side, so I can write down mt into z, that is a transverse. Okay. Now can I replace mn is equal to mt into cos of psi? So replace it. So now this mt and mt will cancel it out. This cos psi will be come over here. So I can write down zv is equal to z upon cos cube of psi, where zv are the number of teeth on equivalent spur gear, that is a virtual gear. Z are the number of teeth on actual helical gear, and psi is the helix angle as shown over here. Thank you very much. Hello my dear friends. So today we start with the design of helical gear pair with the specific steps. So let me start with the given simple straightforward problem as design a helical gear pair for following particulars. Power to be transmitted 15 kilowatts, input speed 960 rpm and output speed approximately 250 rpm. First step is the design power. So we assume the application has a rotary air compressor with 8 to 10 hours duty per day. So with reference to the PHE 7.69, service factor is bound to be 1.1 for above assumption. So design power P is equal to actual power into service factor, and that comes out to be 15 into 1.1, that is 16.5 kilowatts. So this is our gearbox will be look like, and then we have to fill out the initial or the internal things afterwards. Then next, general assumptions. First of all, gear tooth profile. So all of you know that there will be two types of gear tooth profiles are there, involute and cycloidal. Okay, already we have discussed the advantages of involute and advantages of cycloidal both, but for simplicity we go for involute for the cost purpose. So we go for involute profile. Then pressure angle, again there are 4 different types of standard pressure angles are there, 14.5, 15 degree, 20 degree and 25 degree. So for the quality and the cost we have to go for 20 degree full depth involute teeth. Gear grades, grade 1 and 2, grade 1 to 12. So out of that we will select grade 5 and 6, that is called as the carefully cut gears for cost analysis. Then type of gearing, S gearing, SN gearing and S0 gearing. So we go for SN gearing. So addendum is equal to 1 module. Now this is the additional assumption as compared to the spur gear, that is a helix angle psi. Okay, here range is given as 8 degree to 25 degree. Okay, but we, as per AGMA, for maximum efficiency, maximum power transmission efficiency, we have to go for 16 to 18 degree. So on compromise we will consider it as 17 degree. Next, reduction ratio and number of stages. So first of all, I overall is equal to Ni upon No. So that comes out to be 3.84. Okay, but as per the theory we know that for helical gear reduction ratio for earth stage is limited up to 6, but 3.84 is less than 6, hence we have to go for single stage reduction unit, and this will be look like this. So single input shaft, single output shaft, and two helical gears. Here instead of horizontal lines we have to go for slant lines so that it will reflect as a helical gear. Next, number of teeth to avoid the interference. So as per the standard, as per AGMA, ZV is equal to 2 into A upon M upon sin square alpha. Why I am writing the ZV? Because this formula is applicable for spur gear. Okay, and ZV are nothing but the number of teeth on equivalent spur gear for given helical gear. So I have written here ZV is equal to 2 into A upon M upon sin square alpha. But we go for SN gearing. So addendum is equal to 1 module. So formula comes out to be ZV is equal to 2 upon sin squared alpha. So that comes out to be 18. But these are the teeth are required on a spur gear. But what is the formula for ZV? ZV is equal to Z upon cos cube of psi. So if you apply it, then Z are the number of teeth required on helical gear R comes out to be 15.74, that is approximately 16. But still we go with our standard procedure as Z1 is equal to 18 for the consideration of dynamic load. So reduction ratio I is equal to Z2 upon Z1. So 3.84 is equal to Z2 upon 18. So Z2 comes out to be 69.12, that is equivalent to 70. So exact reduction ratio comes out to be 3.89, which can be used for further calculations. The next design torque standard equation is P is equal to 2 pi n mt divided by 60. Okay, where P is the design power, that is 16.5 kilowatts already calculated. N1, that is the input speed 960 rpm. N2, that is N2 is equal to N1 upon I exact, that comes out to be 246.78 rpm for further calculations. So with reference to this, we can get the value of torque on the input shaft as 164128.53 Newton mm, and torque on the output shaft comes out to be 638460.0014 Newton mm. Next, determination of virtual number of teeth. Now standard formula ZV is equal to Z upon cos cube of psi, where ZV are the virtual number of teeth or number of teeth on equivalent spur gear for given helical gear. So Z1 is equal to 18, Z2 is equal to 70. So we go for, and helix angle psi is equal to 17 degree already assumed. So from this we will get the value of ZV1 is equal to 20.58 and ZV2 equivalent to 18.04. Then Levy's form factor. YV is equal to 0.pi into bracket 0.154 minus 0.912 upon ZV. This formula you will get it on PHG 8.50. This formula is applicable for 20 degree full depth involute teeth. So in our case, ZV1 is equal to 20.58, ZV2 is equal to 80.04. So finally we get the value of YV1 is equal to 0.3445 and YV2 is equal to 0.4480. Now we go for the material selection. In the previous problem we go for plain carbon steel. Now we go for material pairing with reference to the material pairing given on PHG 8.04. So for I is less than 4, the material pairing is given as, these are the material pairing, upper row is for the pinion, lower is for the gear wheel. So for simplicity, we start with, for pinion we go for the material as 35 Ni1 Cr60, and for gear wheel we go for 40 Cr1. Okay, then with reference to the PHG 1.13 to 1.17, the properties of alloy steels are given. So on PHG 1.14, you will find the material properties given for 35 Ni1 Cr60, and from PHG 1.13 you will get the properties for the 40 Cr1. Now this is the value of sigma u, this is the rho for sigma y, and this is the value of BHN. We know that for 35 Ni1 Cr60 is used for the pinion. It means that this BHN should be greater than the gear wheel material. So we have to select the value of BHN from the second row. So second row, the value is given in the ranging of 229 to 277. So I will assume it to be 250. Okay. So if I assume the 250, it is in the second row. So it is in between 229 to 277. So according to this, take the interpolation for sigma u as 80 to 95. So I will take it as 87.5 Newton per mm square. Kgf per mm square, and at the same time sigma y is equal to 60 kgf per mm square. Now if I take the BHN for the pinion as 250, so I have to take the BHN for the gear wheel as 250 minus 30 and minus 60 in between it. So 250 minus 30, that comes out to be 220, again minus 30, that comes out to be 190. So 190 to 220, on compromise I will go for 210. So if I go for 210, that is 201 to 248, and I will go for 210 as BHN, then sigma u can be selected in the range of 70 to 85, and then approximately take the approximate interpolation. I will take it as a 72, and sigma y as comes out to be 54 kgf per mm square. So this completes the material selection with reference to the material pairing given on PHG 8.04, and the material property selection from PHG 1.13 to 1.17. Then next one, determination of weaker element. So with reference to PHG 8.51, you will get a formula FB, that is a beam strength, is equal to sigma B into small yv into PCN, where small yv is the Levy's form factor based upon the diametral pitch, and PCN is a normal circular pitch. But we know that normal circular pitch is equal to pi into normal module, that is pi into Mn, and capital YV is equal to small yv into pi. So if I make the rearrange the term, then we will get it as FB is equal to M sigma B into YB into Mn. But we know that for the meshing gear, module and should remain same. Module and phase width should remain same. So we can get it as only variable parameters are sigma B and sigma B into YV. So instead of sigma B, I will go for sigma Y into YV. So sigma Y1 600 Newton per mm square, sigma Y2 540 Newton per mm square, YV1 0.3445 and YV2 0.4480 already calculated and selected. So from this, F1 comes out to be 206.7 and F2 comes out to be 241.92. But F1 found to be lesser than F2, hence we can say that pinion is weaker and we have to go for design of pinion. Then we go for determination of design stresses. First of all, determination of design bending stresses. So with reference to the PHG 8.18, you will get the formula as sigma B design is equal to 1.4 into KBL into sigma minus 1 upon n into K sigma, where sigma minus 1 is equal to 0.35 into sigma u plus 1200 for LR steel with reference to PHG 8.19 table number 1. Here we have to put the value of sigma u in terms of kgf. So sigma u is equal to 87.5 kgf per mm square. So that is equal to 8750 kgf per cm square. So finally we get it as sigma minus 1 is equal to 4262.5 kgf per cm square, equivalent to 426.25 Newton per mm square. Service factor n is equal to 2 for the given condition, that is steel and normalized forced condition. Then K sigma is equal to 1.5 for non-corrected gears. KBL is equal to 1, that is life factor. Since the life required is not given, so we consider to be 1 for simplicity. So finally you get as sigma design is equal to 198.91 Newton per mm square. For design wear stresses, we go for sigma C design is equal to 2.8 into BHN minus 70 as per AGMA. If you put the value of BHN 1, you will get the value of sigma C is equal to sigma C design is equal to 630 Newton per mm square. Next and most important step is module estimation. We have to go for design against bending and check against wear to get the normal module. So Mn has to be greater than or equal to 1.15 cos phi into cube root of mt upon capital YV into sigma b design into psi m into Z1. This formula is given on PHG 8.13. Now we will make a list of all the parameters. So psi is the helix angle, 17 degree already assumed. Then torque, already we are calculating it. Then YV1, that is 0.3445, already calculating it. Sigma B design 198.91, again already calculating it. Z1 18. Psi m is equal to B upon Mn, that is equal to 10 as per the PHG guidelines. So after putting it, we will get the value of psi Mn is equal to 2.mn should be greater than or equal to 2.606. Okay, we will approximately equal to 3, but it's a high speed or there will be a large amount of axial force is also acting on the gear. Hence, we have to go for somewhat higher value for the consideration of dynamic load. So we take it as Mn is equal to 4 mm. Checking for wear failure. So this is a standard formula given on PHG 8.13 for checking formulae against wear failure. So I is equal to 3.89. Positive sign is for the external gearing. B is a face width which is equal to 10 times Mn, that is nothing but equal to 10 into 4, that is 40 mm. E is equal to 2.1 into 10 to the power of 5 Newton per mm square with reference to PHG 1.1 for alloy steels. MT1 is a torque, already calculating it. Then A is the central distance. This is a simple formula for central distance. Mn upon cos psi into bracket Z1 plus Z2 divided by 2. If this formula is not by heart, then just we have to give the reference to PHG 8.22. All the standard formulas related to the spur and helical gears are given. So from this we get the value of A is equal to 184.0417 mm. So finally we get a value of sigma c induced is equal to 612.1276 Newton per mm square, which is less than sigma c designed. Hence we can say that design is safe against wear failure. Next, determination of beam strength. So this is a standard formula. FB is equal to sigma B into YV into Mn. So sigma B design 198.91 Newton per mm squared. B is the face width 40 mm. YV 0.3445 Mn, that is equal to 4 mm. Already we are calculating it and assume it. So from this we will get the value of beam strength is equal to 10963.9192 newtons. Checking against Levy's dynamic load. So standard formula is given on PHG 8.51. Fd is equal to Ft into Cv, where Ft is a tangential force acting on a gear. So Ft is equal to, this formula comes out to be torque is equal to force into perpendicular distance. This is nothing but force into radius. So we will get the force is equal to torque upon radius, that is mt1 upon d1 by 2. mt1 already calculating it. d1 is equal to mn upon cos psi into z1, that comes out to be 75.2898 mm. So ft comes out to be 4359.9137 newtons. So now we consider carefully cut gears. Hence for Barth velocity factor, Cv comes out to be 6 plus Vm upon 6 with reference to PHG 8.51, where Vm is a pitch line velocity that can be found out as pi dn by 60, that is comes out to be 3784.4781 mm per second, nothing but 3.7844 meters per second. So Cv comes out to be 1.6307. So from this we will get the value of Fd is equal to 7109.91 newtons, which is lesser than beam strength, that is comes out to be 10,963.91 newtons. Hence we can say that our design is safe against Levy's dynamic load. Next, checking against Buckingham's dynamic load. This is a standard formula, FBD. So I have write down here FBD, that is for Buckingham's dynamic load. This formula is given on PHG 8.51. This formula will be look like a bigger one, but if you write down the parameters, a list, then it will be very simple. Let Ft, that is 4359.91 newtons, converted in terms of a kgf, that is 435.9913 kgf. Then Vm 3.7844 meters per second. B is the phase width, is nothing but 40 mm. Write down it in terms of centimeters, so that is 4 centimeters. Then value of psi, that is a helix angle, 17 degree. C is equal to 11860 times E, that is for pressure angle, that is for 20-degree pressure angle and steel with steel pair, with reference to table number 41 PSG 8.53. And value for E is given on table number 42 on the same page, PSG 8.53. For carefully cut gears and 4 mm module, it given it to be 0.025. So from this you will get the value of C is equal to 296.5. Now if you put all the parameters in above equation, if you solve it, then you will get it as FBD is equal to 451.4115 kgf. This is nothing but 4514.1149 newtons, which is lesser than beam strength, that is comes out to be 10,963.9192 newtons. Hence we can say that our design is safe against Buckingham's dynamic load. Next and the last one, summary of the design. MN normal module 4 mm, Z1 18, Z2 70. Addendum again 1 times normal module, that is equal to 4 mm. Dedendum 1.25 times normal module, that is 5 mm. And finally we have to complete this table. For pinion and gear wheel, pitch circle diameter is equal to Mn upon cos psi into Z, that is nothing but 75.2898 mm and 292.7936 mm. Similarly, addendum circle diameter in mm is equal to PCD plus 2 times addendum, and at the same time dedendum circle diameter is equal to PCD minus 2 times dedendum. So finally we have to complete this table. This will complete the helical gear design up to the standard values. Then we have to go for the constructional details, like shaft, gear blank and all other things. Thank you for attending this lecture. Thank you very much.